presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman.
And now, Superman. Mighty visitor from another world with powers and abilities never before realized by mortal men. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, crush steel with his bare hands. Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, courageous fighter for truth and justice, who mingles with ordinary men as mild-mannered Clark Kent, reporter for the Daily Planet, a great metropolitan newspaper. As our story opens today, Clark Kent is about to leave the Daily Planet building when he is hailed by young Jimmy Olsen, a red-headed, freckle-faced copy boy who works in the editorial department of the paper. Listen.
Can I see you a minute?
Hi, what's up, Jimmy? Quarrel on fire?
No, it's nothing to do with the paper, Mr. Kent. It's sort of personal if you're in a hurry and you haven't got time.
No, all the time in the world, Jimmy. Come into Mr. White's office. He's gone for the day. There. Now we can talk without having to shout over the racket of those typewriters and news tickers. What's on your mind, Jimmy? You look worried.
I am worried, Mr. Kent. It's about my mother.
She's sick, Jimmy?
No, she's all right. At least she's all right now.
Well, what do you mean?
I guess I better start from the beginning so you'll know what it's all about.
All right.
You see, my father owned a candy store on Spruce Street.
Uh-huh.
When he died 3 years ago, my mother went to work in the store and kept it running pretty good.
Oh, all by herself, eh?
Yes, but she doesn't complain. Not Mom. She wouldn't have even told me about Gyp Donelli if I hadn't caught her crying.
Gyp Donelli? The racketeer? What's he got to do with your mother and the candy store?
I'll tell you, Mr. Kent. About a month ago, a man came into the store and told my mother that unless she paid $20 a week protection money to Gyp Donelli, the store might be wrecked.
What? And has she paid him?
Yes, sir. $100 so far. And he's coming tonight for another 20.
Jimmy, are you sure Donelli is behind this?
Absolutely. Ours isn't the only store he's taking money from. All the stores on Spruce Street pay.
Uh-huh.
The guy who comes around is just Donelli's collector.
Did you say he'll be there tonight?
Yes. That's why I wanted to talk to you. Mom can't pay anymore. And why should she? This is a free country, Mr. Kent, and no crook's got a right to...
No. Take it easy, Jimmy. We'll fix Mr. Donelli. I'll go down to the store with you and meet his collector.
Gee, Mr. Kent, would you?
Sure, but remember, Jimmy, not a word about this to anyone. Rats like Donelli must be handled privately. Now get your hat and coat. No time to waste.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Kent. I'll see you at the elevator.
10 minutes later, Jimmy and Kent approached the candy store on Spruce Street.
This is the store, Mr. Kent. Mom's behind the counter.
Now, wait a minute, Jimmy. You say all the stores on this street pay protection money to Donelli?
That's right. Schultz, the butcher, didn't pay last week.
Oh?
So he got a brick thrown through his window. See it right across the street?
Yes, there's not much window left. Well, what did the police do about it?
They couldn't do anything. They said no evidence. My mother can tell you more about that. Come on, let's go in.
All right.
Oh, what made you so late, Jimmy?
Oh, I hung around the office for a while. Mom, this is Mr. Kent. He's the best reporter on the Daily Planet.
Oh, I'm afraid Jimmy's given to exaggeration, Mrs. Olson.
Well, he's told me a lot about you, Mr. Kent. He thinks you're wonderful.
It's nice to know that somebody does.
Mom, I told Mr. Kent about Gyp Donelli and the racket he's pulling.
Jimmy, you shouldn't have. You promised you wouldn't mention it to a
No,
soul.
it's quite all right, Mrs. Olson. I want to help you.
Oh, you can't help me. Nobody can. There's only one thing left for me to do. Give up the store.
Oh, I won't let you do that, Mom. I'll go to Gyp Donelli myself. I'll tell him.
Just a minute, Jimmy. You won't have to give up the store, Mrs. Olson. I've been up against men like Donelli before, and I think I know how to handle them. I understand his collector is coming tonight. Well, what time does he usually arrive?
Well, he should be here any minute now.
Oh?
But, Mr. Kent, now please don't start any trouble. They said that...
I know what they said, Mrs. Olson. But don't you worry. Jimmy and I will hide behind the counter. When the collector comes in, refuse to pay him.
Oh, no, I can't do that. They'll do something to Jimmy if I don't pay.
No, they won't do a thing, I promise you. Just you refuse to give him the $20. I'll take care of the rest. All right, Jimmy, duck down.
What are you going to do, Mr. Kent?
Tell Mr. Donelli's collector where he gets off.
But supposing he pulls a gun?
Well, guns don't frighten me. Well, he won't pull a gun, Jimmy.
Here he comes now, Mr. Kent.
Steady, Mrs. Olson. Don't be afraid.
Okay, lady. I'll take the protection payment, $20.
Well, I'm not going to give it to you anymore.
Oh, no? Take a look across the street, lady. See what happened to Schultz's window because he didn't have protection? You want that to happen to your window?
Well, I can't pay you anymore. I haven't the money.
Don't give me that stuff. Pony up and make it fast. This is my last stop, and I ain't got no time to waste.
Well, you'd better find some time because I want to talk to you.
Where'd you come from?
Behind the counter. I heard everything you said, and so did Mrs. Olson's son. Now, unless you and your crooked boss, Donelli, want to spend some time behind bars for extortion and blackmail, you'll return every penny you took from this woman and never bother her again.
Oh, yeah? Who are you?
My name is Kent. Clark Kent. I'm a reporter for the Daily Planet.
A star reporter, too.
Shut up, you. So you're a reporter. You write pieces for the paper, huh? Well, write this one. Oh! Hey. Walk over that 20, lady.
Yes. Here it is.
So long, wise guy.
Mr. Kent. Mr. Kent. Are you all right?
I'm all right, Jimmy. Just a little surprised.
Gee, I thought he knocked you out.
No, not quite.
Oh, you see, Mr. Kent, I told you not to try to do anything. It's impossible. They're just not human.
I haven't given up, Mrs. Olson. One punch doesn't frighten me off. I'll get every cent of your money back and teach Donelli a lesson he won't forget.
All you're doing is risking your life.
Don't you worry about that. I'll see you tomorrow, Jimmy. Good night, Mrs. Olson.
Too bad I had to take that punch in the jaw. I was itching to tear that rat apart right in the store, but it wasn't the time or the place for Superman to do his stuff. I'll just take a run over to Donelli's place and have a little talk with him.
Here it is, Chip. 600 smackers. Like taking candy from babies. Even Schultz the butcher paid up without a score.
No trouble at all?
Oh, yeah, little, but I clipped the guy and that finished it.
What guy?
Some mug that was hiding behind a counter in Olson's candy store. Said he was a newspaper reporter, but then they make Kent.
A reporter?
Yeah.
What paper, Spike?
I forget. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, the Daily Planet.
You shouldn't have clipped him. You think I want the newspapers on my neck?
Well, what'd you want me to do? Stand there and take his guff? He was shooting his mouth off about blackmail and extortion.
All right, forget it. Tell Tony to get me a pack of cigarettes.
Okay.
Maine, 4826.
Hello?
Louis?
Yeah, what's up, boss?
Tomorrow, a newspaper called the Daily Planet may publish a story about how the stores on Spruce Street are paying me protection money.
Yeah?
I want all those papers bought up the minute they hit the stands. Every one of them. You got it?
Okay, boss.
Chip, he's here.
Who's here?
That reporter, Kent. Tony let him in. He's waiting in the soundproof room. Let me finish him, Chip. Let me get him out of the way.
Don't be a fool. Want to get us in a jam? I'll talk to him.
Well, you better be careful.
Don't worry, I'm always careful. Now, you stay here. Hey, what is this, a gag? Nobody here?
Oh, yes, there is, Donelli. I just thought I'd wait for you in the closet.
Hey, somebody trying to kid me? Spike said a reporter was waiting. Not a guy in a circus outfit.
Clark Kent couldn't wait, so he asked me to keep the appointment. You'll get used to these blue tights and red cape if you keep on robbing poor shopkeepers, Donelli.
Why, you... Get out. Get out before
I'll get out the moment you hand over the $120 you took from Mrs. Olson. And as soon as I teach you how to behave like a decent human being.
Get out or I'll plug you.
That gun won't do you a bit of good, Donelli. Fortunately, I see this room is soundproof.
Get back or I'll shoot.
Go ahead.
Nothing happened.
Right, you are. And now it's my turn. There goes your gun.
Hey, what do you think
And
you're
here
throwing
you
here?
go.
Let me go.
Not until you learn an important lesson. Let's see how you bounce off the wall. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Telling me.
Not quite, Donelli. Another bounce.
Stop. Stop, I'll do anything.
All right. Let me have $120.
Sure. Here it is.
Good. Now, this was only a sample, Donelli. The next time you try your extortion racket, you won't walk for a month. Understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Well, then I'll leave. Through the window. Remember, Donelli. Remember. Spike! Oh. Spike!
Coming, Chip. I'm coming. Hey, what happened? You're all messed up.
Never mind what happened. Listen to me. You told that Olson woman if she squealed, we'd take care of her, didn't you?
Yeah, sure.
What time did she close her store up?
10 o'clock.
And who's with her?
Just her and her kid.
Okay. You and Tony take the big car and get down there. When she comes out of the store, teach her a lesson.
But how, Chip?
It's about time you knew how. Show her and her kid it don't pay to squeal. On, get going.
Has Superman started something that even he will be unable to stop? Something that may result in injury to Mrs. Olson or Jimmy? Even now, Gyp Donelli's two henchmen are speeding to Spruce Street in a high-powered car, where they plan to wait in the darkness, ready to strike. And where is Superman? Don't miss the next thrill-packed episode. Tune in and follow the exciting story of Superman. And remember, be sure to tune in the next thrilling installment of the amazing transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman! And now, Superman, mighty visitor from the destroyed planet Krypton, whose strength knows no limit. More powerful than a locomotive, faster than a speeding bullet, Superman, who has pledged himself to devote his life to helping the weak and needy, to fight for truth and justice. Superman, who in his everyday guise is Miles Clark Kent, reporter for the Daily Planet newspaper. When we last saw Superman, he was waging a one-man war against Gyp Donelli, a petty racketeer who has been collecting weekly protection payments from the small shopkeepers. Among them was Mrs. Olson, the mother of Jimmy Olson, a Daily Planet copy boy. Tracking Donelli to his hideout, Superman gave him a thrashing and got from him the $120 Mrs. Olson had paid his collector, warning the racketeer that if he tried his racket again, worse would happen. But the moment Superman left, Donelli sought revenge and sent two of his henchmen to Mrs. Olson's candy store. Meanwhile, unaware of Superman's visit to Donelli's hangout, Jimmy and his mother are still in the store. Mrs. Olson is crying softly. Listen.
Oh, Mom, please don't cry. The only reason I told Mr. Kent about it was so that you wouldn't have to pay that crook Donelli $20 a week. Please, Mom.
Oh, no, Jimmy. You shouldn't have told anyone. I begged you not to.
But, gee, Mom, how did I know Clark Kent was going to just stand there and let that collector knock him down? I thought he could fight.
No, fighting will only make matters worse. Oh, there's only one thing left for me to do. Close up the store and...
Mom, look. He's coming across the street.
Who, Jimmy?
Mr. Kent, look.
Well, you probably didn't expect me back, did you?
Mr. Kent, I don't want to appear ungrateful. I know you mean well. But I don't want any trouble with those gangsters. Oh, please don't stir up trouble.
I'm not stirring up anything, Mrs. Olson. I just have some good news. Here's the $120 Donelli's collector took from you. And I don't think he'll bother you again.
Mr. Kent.
Jumping Jiminy.
Now, the next thing to do is to expose Donelli on the front page of the Daily Planet. And, if possible, run him out of the city.
Mr. Kent, where did you get this money?
Well, never mind where I got it. It's yours, every penny of it.
Did you get it from Donelli?
Jimmy, a good newspaper man never reveals secrets.
If you did get it from Donelli, Mr. Kent, you're Superman.
Hardly, Jimmy. Not Superman.
Why, Mr. Kent, I can't believe it. It seems like a dream getting the money back. And you say they won't bother me anymore? Well, that means I can keep the store.
That's just what it means. Well, I guess I'll run along now. Get down bright and early in the morning, Jimmy. You can help me write the story. We'll splash it across the front page.
I sure will, Mr. Kent.
All right.
Good night, Mr. Kent. And, oh, thank you so much.
Oh, good night, Mrs. Olson.
Good night,
Jimmy.
But even as Clark Kent departs, a black sedan pulls up at the curb opposite Mrs. Olson's little candy store.
Okay, Tony, cut the motor.
Right. Is that the place, Spike?
Yeah, we're lucky. They're still there. The kid and his old lady. What time is it?
9:30.
Well, they'll be closing up soon, though. Now, listen. What we do is this. When they come out, we follow them, you see? There's too many lights on this street.
Where we follow them to?
They'll turn in on a side street where it's darker.
What are you going to do?
Get out of the car and follow them. Chip said to teach them, but don't pay to squeal.
I don't like fooling with kids and dames.
Well, me neither, but they got it coming to them. Tipping off a reporter. Hey, look.
Huh?
They're putting out the lights. See, they're closing up. Keep low.
They're coming out of the store. You sure that's them?
Yeah, the kid's redheaded. Now let them get a block ahead of us.
Okay. Keep an eye peeled for cops, Spike.
Yeah, come on. Pile out now. Let's go. Not so fast. I said to keep a block behind them.
All right. You don't have to get so jittery.
Who's jittery?
You are. Wait a minute. We're turning to 2nd Street. That block is plenty dark.
Easy.
There they are, up ahead on the left side of the street. All right now. Say when.
Not yet.
Spike, there's a police car coming up.
All right, duck in this doorway. Come on.
The rest.
Stop.
Boy, I sure thought them blues met a pinch, Spike.
Now who's jittery? Hey, where's that kid and his old lady? Come on, let's get going.
I see him in the middle of the block.
Come on. Now. Hey, you. Come here.
Hey, let go of me.
Not till I teach your old lady something about squealing.
You leave that boy alone. Yeah.
Screaming ain't going to help you, sister. Come here, you brat. I'll fix you.
Not before I fix you.
Oh, what hit me?
I hit you, and there's more where that came from.
Oh.
Donelli thought I was fooling, did he? Well, I'll show you I'm not.
Oh, Johnny, beat it. There's a big guy. He's crazy. Beat it.
Go ahead, run for your lives. Too bad I can't follow you through the streets, but I know where to find you and your boss in case I want you. Now, I'd better see what happened to the Olsons as Clark Kent.
Jimmy, you all right?
Mr. Kent, where'd you come from?
Well, when I walked out of your store, I saw that car stop, and it looked suspicious, so I followed it. But, Jimmy, your mother's fainted.
She got scared when the man went to hit me.
Where do you live, Jimmy?
The next house.
I'll carry your mother up. There we are. All right, lead the way.
Gee, Mr. Kent, it was lucky you came along.
Yeah.
That guy was all set to hit me.
Did you recognize him? Who was he?
He was Donelli's collector.
Oh.
I couldn't see his face, but I knew his voice, though. This door here.
Okay.
I'll turn on the light.
Oh, that's fine. There we are. And she'll be comfortable in this couch. Get some cold water and a towel, Jimmy.
Okay, won't take a second, Mr. Kent.
Lucky kid. Not a whimper out of him. Any other kid would have been frightened stiff.
Here you are, Mr. Kent.
Oh, good.
My mother all right?
Well, she will be in a moment. There, she's coming around.
Jimmy, where are you?
Right here, Mom. I'm okay. Mr. Kent saved us.
Mr. Kent, I didn't see you.
I'm terribly sorry this had to happen, Mrs. Olson. I never dreamed Donelli would try to pull anything after the talk I had with him.
Oh, Mr. Kent, it was horrible. That man grabbing Jimmy.
No, don't you think about it. Just get some rest. I've got to get back to the office and see Mr. White. We'll splash this story across the front page. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have Lois Lane come over and spend a few hours with you. She'll be company for you, Mrs. Olson.
Oh, it isn't necessary, Mr. Kent. I'll be all right.
Oh, Lois won't mind. Where's my hat, Jimmy?
Right here, Mr. Kent.
Good night, Mrs. Olson. You can show me to the door, Jimmy.
Good night, and thank
No,
you.
not at all. Now, Jimmy, don't let your mother get up for a while, huh?
Mr. Kent, did you really chase those gangsters away?
I suppose so, Jimmy. Why, what makes you ask?
I thought I saw a man in a red cape. Flying, sort of.
You're tired, Jimmy. You better get some rest, too. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh. Thought he saw a man in a red cape flying, eh? I've got to be careful. Too many people are seeing me as Superman. But there's one person who's going to see me and not like it so much. Gyp Donelli. Tomorrow I'll clean his place out and make certain he leaves town. For good. Or my name isn't Superman.
But even as Clark Kent utters the threat, the long black sedan pulls up in front of Gyp Donelli's headquarters on the far side of town, and Spike gets out hurriedly. A moment later, he enters Donelli's private office.
Well?
Boss, I hate to tell you, but we had trouble.
What do you mean?
Well, everything worked like a top. We trailed the kid and his old lady to a dark side street.
Go on. Go on.
When Tony pulled over at the curb and hopped out to grab me, you see, I had a grip on the kid when a guy come out of nowhere and clipped me.
Who was it?
I don't know. It was a big guy with an awful wallop. Before I could make a move, he let me have it.
What happened?
Well, I ran for the car, and we got away just in time.
Did he follow you?
No, we cut over at the river and doubled back. Nobody followed.
Was the guy who clipped you that reporter, Clark Kent?
Him? I don't know, Jip. This guy was big, awful big.
Sounds like Kent's behind this. You say he worked for the Daily Planet?
Yeah, that's what he said.
The Olsen kid works for the Planet, too.
So what?
I've got an idea. Maybe a good one. Hand me that telephone book.
Okay. What's up, Chip?
You'll see. Here it is. Mrs. Henry Olsen. Store. Residence. Logan 6251. Operator, get me Logan 6251.
Now, what you calling her for, Chip?
You'll see.
Hello?
Hello, Jimmy. This is Clark Kent.
Mr. Kent? Gee, your voice sounds funny.
Must be something wrong with the phone connection. Listen, Jimmy, I haven't got much time. I've got to see you right away.
But you just left my house a little while ago, Mr. Kent.
Yeah, I know. Something came up. I need your help. It's about Donelli. Can you meet me at the corner of Spruce and 2nd Street in 10 minutes?
Gee, Mr. Kent, I don't want to leave Mom. She's asleep now. Miss Lane just got here.
Who?
Lois Lane.
Oh, sure. Bring her along. It's newspaper business.
All right, Mr. Kent. I'll be there with Miss Lane.
Good. See you in 10 minutes. That's not luck. I don't know what is.
What do you mean?
The kid told me a dame named Lois Lane is at his house. I know who she is. A reporter for that same paper, the Daily Planet.
So what?
How can you be so dumb? What do you mean, so what?
Well, supposing she is a reporter for the paper.
We don't want that paper to print nothing about us, do we?
No.
Well, they won't. Not now. We'll meet the kid and that Lane girl, and we'll take them for a ride. A nice little ride in the country. Get the car ready.
Will Lois Lane walk into the trap Donelli has set for her and Jimmy? Or is she smart enough to realize it was not Clark Kent who called? What will happen? Tune in next time and follow the thrilling adventures of Superman. And remember, be sure to tune in the next thrilling installment of the amazing transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
And now, Superman, defender of the weak and champion of the oppressed. Superman, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton, resolved to dedicate his life to the cause of truth and justice, and mingled with ordinary men as Clark Kent, meek reporter for the Daily Planet. At the moment, Superman is fighting a petty racket. Gyp Donelli has been extorting money from the small shopkeepers along Spruce Street, one of whom is Mrs. Olsen, the mother of Jimmy Olsen, a copy boy at the Daily Planet. Clark Kent, as Superman, forced Donelli to return the money he had taken from Mrs. Olsen. Seeking revenge, Donelli ordered his henchman Spike to waylay Jimmy and his mother on the street. But Superman again intervened. Angered, Donelli telephoned, and posing as Clark Kent, arranged for Jimmy and Lois Lane, who was at the Olsen home, to meet him on a street corner. As our story opens, it is the same night. Kent, unaware of Donelli's latest move, is talking to Perry White, city editor of the Daily Planet, in White's office.
Mrs. Olsen was so upset after Donelli's men attacked her and Jimmy that I asked Lois Lane to spend a few hours there. Can you imagine men attacking a woman and a boy, Mr. White?
Donelli and his kind aren't men, Kent. They're rats.
I know.
And there's only one way to handle rats. Drive them out in the open and shoot them down.
Unfortunately, we can't do that.
With bullets? No. But with words, yes. Now, you get all the facts, Kent.
All right.
Write this story as you've never written one before. I'll give it all the front page space it'll take.
I knew you'd feel that way about it, Mr. White.
And why shouldn't I? The trouble with this country is that we're too lenient with Donelli and people like him. They belong in a country where they have a dictator and concentration camps. It makes my blood boil when I think of the millions of decent men and women who would give anything to live here in America, but instead they have to suffer while Donelli robs poor shopkeepers.
Hey, I'll put that in the story, Mr. White.
And you make every word sizzle, Kent.
Yes, sir.
Stop at nothing. But be sure of your facts.
Well, Jimmy knows everything that's happened. I'll get them from him.
Who's that?
It's like Jimmy.
Mr. Kent.
Jimmy, what's the matter?
Miss Lane, I ran all the way.
Well, what happened?
The man called up, said he was you, Mr. Kent.
What?
It didn't sound like you, but I believed him.
What did he say?
He said to meet him at the corner of Spruce and 2nd Street and to bring Miss Lane.
Yes, and did you?
Yes. Miss Lane didn't want to do it, but I talked her into it. When we got down to the corner, 2 men jumped out on us.
Go on, Jimmy, go on.
I got loose, and Miss Lane yelled at me to run, but I didn't know what I was doing.
And what happened to Lois?
They pushed her in the car and drove away, and I looked around for a cop, but there wasn't any. So I came here.
Donelli. It couldn't be anyone else. He's got Lois.
Kent, where are you going?
Got to look into something, Mr. White. You keep Jimmy here and send someone over to stay with Mrs. Olson. I'll be back soon.
Oh, I'm responsible for all this. I've got to do something about it fast. If Lois is at Donelli's place, I shouldn't have much trouble. No time to take the elevator down. The window will do. Up with it. And out.
Like an arrow shot from a bow, Superman streaks across the darkened city in the direction of Donelli's headquarters. His only thought to rescue Lois Lane from the racketeer's clutches. His only hope that he reach there before any harm comes to her. Faster. Faster until he swoops down like a great bird and lands in the concrete driveway alongside a 3-story house.
There. Don't think anyone saw me. Those clouds were conveniently low. Now, let's see. Donelli's office was on the 3rd floor. Well, I'll climb up and sneak through a window. Quietly. There. Not so easy clinging to the sill. Now, up with the window. Gently. There. Into the room. Looks dark and deserted. Hope I'm not too late. Wait. I hear something. A man talking in the next room.
Okay, boss. I'll be there in an hour. Yeah, sure. I'll bring the dough with me. Goodbye.
You'll be where in an hour?
Hey, where'd you come from?
Never mind that. Where are you going? To Donelli?
Get away, or
You won't do anything.
Hey!
Now talk, or I'll break your part.
Let me go.
Talk.
I ain't done nothing.
Where's Donelli? You were just talking to him on the phone. Where is he?
I don't know. I swear I don't know.
Now,
Stop!
refresh your memory. Let's see whether you bounce like your boss did up against the wall.
No more. Oh.
Will you talk?
Yeah, I'll talk.
All right. Get up on your feet. Stop. Don't do that. Come back here. A fool. Dove out the window to the concrete driveway 3 stories below. This is the last racket he'll ever be mixed up in. Crowd's gathering. I'd better go. Can't afford to be seen here. Out the back and away!
Sorry I had to leave so suddenly, Mr. White.
Where on earth have you been?
Well, I had an idea, but it didn't work.
Close the door and sit down. Now, this is the time for action, Kent. Fast action.
Yes, but what can we do? Where can we turn, Mr. White? Lois isn't at Donelli's hangout.
How do you know?
Well, I don't know, really. I just have a hunch.
Well, Kent, we can't work on hunches. This is much too serious. We'll have to notify the police.
No, I wouldn't do that if I were you, Mr. White.
Why not?
Well, I'm just afraid of what might happen to Lois. Jimmy here can tell how Donelli threatened his mother.
They said if she called the cops, they'd beat her up.
Well, maybe you're right. Well, one thing we can do is to make use of the Daily Planet. Now, I've got a story all set for the first edition tomorrow. Had a rewrite man get the facts from Jimmy here and knock it out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, listen to this banner head. Planet reporter Mrs. Racketeer believed responsible for... City desk. White speaking.
Is Clark Kent there?
Who?
Clark Kent.
Hold on. It's for you, Kent.
Thanks, Mr. White. Hello.
Is this Clark Kent of the Daily Planet?
Yes, I'm Clark Kent.
Mr. Kent?
Yes?
If one word about my business is printed in your paper, Miss Lois Lane may run into trouble.
Who is this talking?
Donelli's the name, Kent.
Mr. White, have this call traced. It's Donelli. I'll keep him on. We hadn't intended printing anything about you, Donelli. If you'll send Miss Lane back, why,
I'm
I'm sure...
good and ready, Kent. And not before. You've been crossing me up too much. This time, I'm taking no chances. I'll wait and see what your paper says before I make a move. So long, Tucker.
Was that really Donelli, Mr. Kent?
I got it, Kent. I've got it. Good. On the other phone.
Yes?
He was calling from a drugstore booth in Little Falls. That's a town about 50 miles from here.
I'll leave at once, Mr. White.
Now, hold on. I'm going with you.
What?
Yes, we can take my car. This time, I'm going to be in on the kill.
Mr. White...
Well, I want to crack at Donelli, personally.
Mr. White, I can get there much faster alone.
What? Well, what do you mean?
Well, that is...
Nothing doing. I'm coming along.
Can I go, Mr. White?
You? Of course not.
Oh, please, Mr. White, I won't be in the way.
Jimmy wants to learn how to be a reporter, and, well, after all, it is his story.
Are you mad, Kent? Taking a kid up to a place...
I'm not a kid, Mr. White. I'm 14.
Oh, well, all right. But you're responsible for him, Kent.
I'll watch him.
Gee, thanks a million, Mr.
All right,
Kent.
Now, before we leave, I want to okay this story.
Now, Mr. White, you can't print that story.
What?
I didn't tell you, but Donelli said if we printed one word about him, Lois would suffer.
Kent, you're right. You're right. He's got us blocked. No, but not for long. Come on. I'm itching to get my hands around Donelli's throat. And when I do, it'll be just too bad.
But even as Clark Kent, Editor White, and Jimmy Olsen speed northward through the night, two men converse in the front room of a cabin located on the edge of a dense pine forest, 2 miles above the town of Little Falls. One of them is Gyp Donelli. The other, his henchman, Spike. Listen.
Yeah, it's pretty near midnight. What's keeping Tony? Said he'd be here in an hour.
Well, maybe he had a flat chip. You can't tell. Oh, what did that reporter Kent have to say when you call him up?
What could he say? Don't you worry. That paper won't print nothing about me. Not while we got the Lane girl.
Well, what you gonna do with her, Chip?
That all depends. Say, I ain't heard her yowling lately. She all right?
Yeah, tied up in the back room. Yeah, I guess she got tired.
Where's that briefcase with the records of collections we made from the storekeepers?
I tossed it in the back room.
Think it's safe with her in there?
Sure. She'd have to be a Houdini to get loose.
I wish Tony'd get here with that dough. I was a fool leaving the house. With some dough, I can start paying off a few guys and quiet this thing up.
He'll be here, Chip, unless he's dead.
What do you mean?
Well, gee, for gosh, I was only kidding, Chip. Can't you take a joke?
There's no time for joking. See what the girl's doing.
She's all right. Chip, she's gone. Out the window.
What?
The briefcase is gone, too.
Briefcase gone?
Yeah, she took it with her. Wait, here's the flashlight. Look, you can see her tracks in the mud. She went into the woods.
Well, after her, quick. Look out, you fool. The kerosene's stove.
Oh, I didn't see it, Chip.
Of course you didn't, you clumsy ape. I'll look at it. Kerosene burning all over the floor. You can't put it out. The woods cat here. Get back. Come on outside. It'll go up like a torch in a minute.
Gee, it sure is burning. What about the girl in the woods, Chip?
Forget about her. We got to think about ourselves. We'll go back to town and pick up that dough. I can't wait any longer for Tony. It's risky hanging around here. Some of them farmers will come running when they see this fire.
Well, how about them papers, Chip? The ones in the briefcase.
The wind's blowing the fire over to the woods. I don't think there'll be very much left of them papers.
Fire, consuming the cabin and creeping slowly toward the edge of the dry pine woods, fanned into tongues of flame by the high wind. And what of Lois, alone in the darkness of the forest? Don't fail to tune in next time and follow the thrilling story of Superman. And remember, be sure to tune in the next thrilling installment of the amazing transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look! It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman.
And now, Superman, mighty visitor from the destroyed planet Krypton, who has appeared on Earth as the champion of the weak and the oppressed. Faster than a speeding bullet, stronger than a locomotive, with a physical structure never before realized by mortal men, Superman goes about among human beings as Miles Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. When we last saw him, Superman was on the trail of the Gyp Donelli gang, petty racketeers, who had escaped from town after capturing Lois Lane, feature writer for the Daily Planet, while Superman, in his character of Clark Kent, sped northward toward the gang's hideout with Editor White and young Jimmy Olsen, a Daily Planet copyboy. Lois made good her escape from Donelli's cabin in the deep woods, taking with her the evidence of Donelli's guilt, but only to run into an even greater danger. In leaving the cabin to follow her, Donelli and his henchman Spike accidentally knocked over a kerosene stove, and at once the flimsy wooden shack was a mass of fire. Donelli and Spike raced for their car, leaving Lois to her fate, while tongues of flame licked hungrily toward the dry wood. As our story continues today, the racketeers are several miles from the burning cabin, headed back to the city, speeding over the rough road in their powerful black sedan.
Listen, Spike. You sure that Lane girl took the briefcase with her?
Well, you looked for it yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't anywhere in that room.
What difference does it make? If it's gone, ain't it?
Yeah, if it's gone. If it ain't, it can make a lot of difference.
How?
What's the matter? You that, Tom? There's papers in that briefcase. And them papers tell all about our collections back in town. Who we tapped and for how much.
What if somebody finds it, Chip?
I'm counting on the fire to fix those papers for good.
Yeah, but what if somebody gets in there to put out the fire?
Don't worry. I got a fine chance of doing that.
Why not?
For two reasons, Spike. Number one, in another 20 minutes, the woods will be like a furnace. Number two, the road's blocked.
Oh, that's what you was doing while I get out the car.
If anybody takes the road back to that cabin, Spike, they'll find a big tree down, right in their way.
Yeah?
And if they try to move the tree, well, it'll be the last thing they ever do move. I can tell you that.
Honest? How come?
Never mind how come. Just believe what I'm telling you. Quite a while ago, I figured on something like this happening.
I'd say that you figure all the angles, Chip.
I'll say I do. What's up now?
It's a blowout. It's this Marshport Road. Pull up, Chip.
Yeah, right front shoe. We got a spare?
Sure, we got a spare. Wait till I get the trunk open.
This ain't no time to get held up. How long will it take?
Oh, 15 minutes, maybe more.
Step on it, will you? Hey, wait.
What's the matter?
A car coming up the road. Keep low.
What if they stop?
They won't stop.
Hey, Donelli, they're slowing down. They're stopping.
Keep quiet. I'll handle this.
Hey there, you fellas. You know this road?
Mike, roll up your collar and keep your head down.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
How far is it to Little Falls?
5 miles. You can't miss it.
Okay. Much obliged.
All right.
Phew, gee, was that luck?
What do you mean, luck? See the guy in the front seat next to the driver?
No, what of it?
I ain't sure, but I think it was that newspaper guy. What's his name?
Clark Kent?
Yeah. He didn't open his trap, but I bet it was him, all right. And didn't I see a kid in the back seat?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a kid in there.
I don't know who the old guy driving was, but if I'm right and the other fellow was Kent, well, it's a cinch the kid was young Olsen.
Gee, well, what are they doing up here?
After the Lane girl, of course. And she's out somewhere in those woods with a fire getting closer every minute. Well, come on. Don't stand there gaping. Get a move on.
What are we going to do?
Fix this flat. That's the first thing. Then I'm going to turn right around and head back to Little Falls.
What, after them?
You said it. It's too good a chance. We might get to knock them all off at once. And who'd be left to tell about the racket then? Come on. Get hot with them tools.
Mr. Kent, are we anywhere near Little Falls yet?
Pretty near, Jimmy. Was it 5 miles, that fellow said, Mr. White?
That's right, Kent. We've covered about 4 of them already. What's troubling me now is how we're going to locate Donelli's hideout when we get there. All we know so far is that it's somewhere in Little Falls or near it.
Look, Mr. White. Isn't that a gas station up ahead?
Yeah, we'll pull in. That's as good a place as any to ask questions.
All right. We're almost out of gas anyway.
There's the man inside. He's coming out now.
Evening, gentlemen. Fill her up.
Well, you might as well. We don't know just how far we're going.
Say, Little Falls anywhere around here?
Yes, sir. Sure it is. Just about a mile down the road. Keep right at the fork.
Forks, mister?
Yep. Left hand goes into the woods. Go in there and you stand a mighty good chance of getting stuck.
Stuck? Why?
Probably muddy.
Oh, no, it ain't mud. It's just a mighty narrow, mean road that's blocked. Big tree down across it.
How do you know?
Well, a couple of city fellas went by heading for the city a while ago, and they
That's
told
funny.
me.
I wonder how they knew.
Well, they got a cabin in there.
Look here. These two men, they didn't by any chance come up from the city about 4 or 5 hours ago, did they?
Why, gee, mister, you must be a mind reader.
What?
You're dead right. They did go through just about 4 or 5 hours ago. Only there were 3 of them then. I know because they stopped for cigarettes.
3 of them. Kent, do you hear that?
Listen. Was the third person in their car a girl?
Oh, now, quit your kidding. They're friends of yours. You knew them all the time.
Was the third person a girl?
Was it?
Sure it was.
And they drove back just now without her?
Yep. Guess they parked her in the cabin. Maybe they're coming back. Hey, where you going?
Where's your phone? Quick.
I ain't got no phone.
Come back here, Kent.
Look here. That was Donelli on the road. That man you stopped to ask directions of. And he's left Lois up in that cabin. We've got to get her out and warn the police.
Hey, listen, I don't know what you're talking
Never
about.
mind. You'll find out later.
Hey, listen, whatever it is, you can't get in that cabin. I tell you, the road's blocked.
That's right, Mr. White. We forgot.
Confound it.
Mr. White, look here. We've got to separate.
What do you mean, Kent?
You take the car, get to the nearest phone. Where is it, mister?
Well, now, let's see. Down at Robbins, third house on the left.
All right, you phone the police, Mr. White. Tell them to watch all roads back to the city.
Well, Kent, what are you going to do?
I'm going up the road into the woods. Even if a car can't get through, maybe a man can.
I'll go with you, Mr. Kent.
No, you stay here, Jimmy.
I'll take him with me.
No, he'd better stay right here, Mr. White.
What's the idea?
Jimmy, you watch the road. Keep your eye out for Donelli's car, just in case he takes it into his head to come back again.
Mr. Kent, what'll I do if he does come?
Let's see. Hey, you. Have you got a gun?
Sure, I got a gun, only I ain't going to let
Never
you...
mind that. Those 2 men who own that cabin are crooks and racketeers.
What's that?
You heard me. Now, if that car comes back again while I'm up the road toward the camp, fire your gun 3 times. Get it?
I get it, Mr. Kent. So long, Mr. White.
Oh, Kent, when I've made that phone call, I'll come right back.
So will I, Mr. White. Meanwhile, I'll see if that tree can be cleared off the road.
I'll hurry all I can.
Now then, I'll run a few steps to get out of sight. Oh, poor Lois. Bet they're holding her in that cabin, but not for long.
Well, if we know where she is. This ought to do it. They can't see me from the gas station. If I know anything at all, Donelli's blocked the road on purpose. But he can't block Superman. Up! Up!
Leaping into the air, Superman streaks over the darkness of the pine woods, following the dim ribbon of the dirt road below. An odor of smoke is in the night wind, but he pays no heed to that. On through the darkness, then sharply down toward the impassable barrier of a huge fallen tree, blocking off all entrance to the cabin.
There. What's that? Looks like a tree. It is. Down right across the road. Well, it shouldn't take us too long to get rid of that. Down. Down. There. Now then. A little hard to get at. So working closer toward the trunk. Full-grown pine. 70 feet long if it's an inch, and 3 feet thick. Must weigh 8 or 9 tons. Well, I wonder how far I can throw this tree, like hurling a javelin. What's this? It's a wire. This thing's wired down. That's funny. Oh! Well, score 1 for Donelli. Wired that tree to a blasting charge. Blew up right in my face. Anybody else would have been shattered to bits. Good thing dynamite can't hurt me. But maybe it wasn't so good for Donelli. That blast blew the tree right off the road. If I can't get to the cabin now, 3 shots. That means trouble back at the gas station. Something's happened. Here comes a car. It can't be Donelli. They never make a row like that. Must be the police. Well, whoever it is, all they'll find when they get here is Clark Kent.
Come to think of it, I'd better go to meet them. Just in case Donelli's planted any more surprises. Hey, hold it! What's the matter?
Kent, great Scott, man. That explosion.
Mr. White, how did you hear it? How did you get here?
Well, I was on the way back after making the phone call. What happened?
Donelli's gang left a charge of blasting powder under the fallen tree. It just went off.
And are you all right? Is Jimmy all right?
Jimmy? Jimmy's back at the gas station.
No, he's not. The man said he went after you.
But he didn't. I told him to stay there.
I know what you told him, but the man said he followed you anyway. If he was in that blast...
Mr. White, it's not possible. I would have seen him. He must be in the woods.
Jimmy! Jimmy Olsen!
Jimmy!
Where are you? Jimmy Olsen! Jimmy, where are you, Jimmy?
Frantic shouts and calls go off into the darkness of the forest, and only mocking echoes come faintly back. Jimmy has vanished in the woods. And meanwhile, stronger and stronger on the night wind, the odor of burning brush comes drifting from the direction of the cabin. Jimmy is gone. Lois is gone. And somewhere behind, creeping up through the night, Donelli and Spike are returning to see what Kent and White have found. The thrilling climax is not far off. Tune in next time and follow the exciting, thrill-packed story of Superman. And remember, be sure to tune in the next thrilling installment of the amazing transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, valiant fighter for truth and justice, who has appeared on Earth with the strength of a locomotive and the speed of an airplane, and with a physical structure never before attained by mortal men. Superman, who walks the earth and goes about among human beings, is Miles Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. When we last saw him, Kent was standing in the darkness of a pine forest above the town of Little Falls, with Editor White of the Planet calling vainly for young Jimmy Olsen, suddenly lost in the night. Also missing was Lois Lane, feature writer, who had been carried off by Gyp Donelli's gang of racketeers and brought north to the woods. Lois had made her escape as an overturned stove set fire to the gangster's cabin and started a roaring blaze in the surrounding woods. But so far, she has not been found. As our story continues today, Clark Kent and Editor White are standing where we left them, on the road to Donelli's cabin, listening to someone crashing toward them through the woods.
Kent, it's the fellow from the gas station. Hey there! Quick, will you? Have you found the boy?
No, not yet. You fellas got any line on him up this way?
Not a thing. Why didn't you keep him with you at the station?
Heck, he ain't my boy, mister. He said he was going, and that was that.
What was he trying to do?
Well, near as I could make out, he wanted to find that gal you said was in the cabin.
How in heaven's name did he think he could do that?
Well, he said he'd been a Boy Scout or something, knew his way in the woods, and I sure hope he's right.
Why, what do you mean?
Listen, mister, can't you smell?
Smell? Mr. White, it's smoke. That's what was making you cough.
Smoke is right, and there's more of it all the time. If you ask me, there's a brush fire smoldering in the woods.
Brush fire? Kent, what are we going to do?
Mr. White, Jimmy and Lois, we've got to find them and get them out of there.
Kent, I know it, but how?
Yeah, and the longer we wait, the hotter it's going to get. The kid's gone so far he can't hear us. And no telling where he'll be if that fire really breaks out.
Look here. Which way? When he left the station, which way did he head?
Well, mister, I can't even tell you that. He waited till my back was turned and lit out.
Yeah?
When I came back, he was gone. Listen, you take my advice and get out while you can. When this plane starts to go...
What do you want us to do, leave the boy in the woods?
Oh, we've got to find them, both of them. Jimmy! Lois!
Oh, that ain't going to do you no good, I'm telling you. If that fire breaks loose, it'll be bad. The wind's coming up, too.
Don't stand there talking, man. We've got to find them. Come on.
Jimmy!
Jimmy!
Lois! Lois Lane! Jimmy! Jimmy!
Recklessly making their way toward the heart of the burning woods, the hollow cries of the rescue party die off in the distance. And almost at once, two dark forms appear in the shadowy roadway. Gyp Donelli and his follower, Spike, hiding in the darkness, have overheard every word. Donelli emerges from the trees and calls softly.
Spike. Spike, you there? Yeah, right here, boss. You've been here all the time. Listen, you know where the kid is? Not me. I guess he just did what they said. Is that a break for us? What do you mean? Listen, I don't know why that fire holds back so long, but it's due to bust any minute now. Yeah, so what are we sticking around for? Just to make sure, that's all. Sure of what? Something called a backfire. It burns out in front of the first fire. When I get that far, they both go out, see? But there ain't anything more to burn. So what? So Now, that's what we're going to do right now. We're good citizens, ain't we? Hey, you ought to know. And good citizens help stop fires. Come on, Spike. Give me a hand here. The wind's just right, too. Right for what? For what we're going to do. We're going to start a backfire, Spike. Right here. So it'll carry straight into the woods. Is it our fault if somebody happens to get caught in between? Break up some of that brush. Fast.
All unknowing of the peril behind them, Kent and the rescue party head toward the center of the woods, with smoke growing thicker at every step and occasional sparks drifting by in the night wind. While farther off, just beyond earshot, young Jimmy Olsen stumbles between tall pines, calling desperately for Lois. Suddenly, slightly ahead, he hears an answering cry.
Miss Lane! Miss Lane, where are you?
Here! Who's that calling?
Miss Lane, it's me. It's Jimmy Olsen. Where are you?
Here, Jimmy. Here, this way.
Miss Lane, gosh, is that you?
Oh, Jimmy. Jimmy, I can't believe it.
Gee, we've been looking all over for you, Miss Lane.
Where in the world did you come from?
We came up in a car, me and Mr. Kent and Mr. White. You haven't seen them anyplace, have you?
Jimmy, I haven't seen anybody since I got away. That man Donelli had me tied up in the shack, and I got out.
What's the briefcase you got there, Miss Lane?
Oh, I don't know. It has papers and things, proof of what they've been doing. If we ever get out of here, Jimmy, this briefcase ought to send them all to jail.
If we ever get out of here. Golly, Miss Lane, what are you talking about? We're getting out of here right now.
Oh, Jimmy, we can't. At least I can't. I twisted my ankle, and the fire's coming.
What's coming?
The woods. The woods are on fire, Jimmy. It started right after I got away from the cabin, and it spread to the woods.
Well, gee, let's get going. Come on.
Jimmy, I can't. I can hardly walk. But you go. You get out while you can. Go on.
What? And leave you here? Not a chance, Miss Lane. Here, you grab my shoulder.
Oh, Jimmy. Jimmy, I can't do it.
Miss Lane, you gotta do it. You don't want to stay here and get burned up, do you? Come on. Look, over there, just beyond that little ridge.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy! It's the fire. It's coming right this way, and fast, too. Listen, get up on your feet. Come on. We gotta make a run for it.
Jimmy, go on. Don't wait for me.
No, come on, grab hold of me. Now, this way. Back where I came from. Come on, Miss Lane.
Oh, Jimmy, my ankle. Oh, I can't take it.
Thicker and thicker grows the smoke. More and more fiery sparks. A sheet of flame lights up the woods, when suddenly the blue-clad figure of Superman soars high in the blazing forest.
If anybody's going to get out of this place alive, including Jimmy and Lois Lane, Superman has to take a hand. Up! Up! I've got to get down there where the fire's hottest and beat it out. After that, maybe I can find Lois and Jimmy. But it's got to be fast. Those flames are gaining every minute. Closing in. Ah, there. That looks like a good place. If I can break through there. Down. Down. Now then. Right in the middle of the flames. It's a good thing I don't mind heat. If I can just snatch up a pine tree and use it like a broom. Let's see now. There. That looks like a good one. Ought to do it. Nothing like sweeping up a forest fire with a 50-foot tree. I can just open up a way out through here. Clear a fire lane. Not much time. Here we go. Hot. Hotter than a blast furnace. I'm gaining some. Now, just a few more good ones.
We can make another try. We're almost out now. We must be almost out.
Jimmy, it's no use. We simply can't make it. We're trapped.
No, we're not. Don't say that, Miss Lane. Don't even think it. We've got to keep going.
Jimmy, it was good of you to stay. You could have gotten out if you'd gone when I told you. Maybe you still can. Try it, Jimmy. Please.
No, we'll both get out. Come
Not
on.
that way, Jimmy. The fire. It's coming closer.
Back, we'll go back.
No, we can't go that way either. It's all around us. Jimmy, we're hemmed in. Look, it's creeping up on us.
Miss Lane, the smoke. I can't see.
Neither can I. Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy Olsen. Miss Lane.
Listen, somebody's calling.
Jimmy, Miss Lane, both of you, this way, quick.
Who is it? I can't see.
I can't either. I can't see a thing.
But it sounds like Mr. Kent.
It is. Come on, both of you, quick.
Mr. Kent, I can't see. The smoke.
Here, catch hold of my hand. You too, Miss Lane. Now, we'll make a run for it. Quick, quick.
Say, Mr. Kent, what's going on? I'm not touching the ground at all.
Mr. Kent, what's happening?
Come on. I'm carrying you both. Don't stop to ask questions. Now, here comes the hot spot. Hold your breath. We're almost out. Here we go.
Oh, we're out. Here's the road. Oh, where's Kent? Kent!
He must be along. He was right behind us. Oh, say, if we hadn't found that place where the fire was beat out.
You're lucky. Luckiest thing I ever saw. But where's Kent?
Hey, here he comes now. Through the smoke. Hey, mister.
Oh, look.
He's got two people with him. Say, it's the kid and the girl. He's got them both.
Kent!
Oh, glad to see you got out, Mr. White. Look what I found.
Oh, Mr. White. Oh, thank heaven.
Mr. White, is that you? See, I can't see anything.
The smoke, it's still in my eye.
You'll be all right.
Oh, Kent, I can't believe it. You mean to tell me you found them and brought them out?
Gee, sure did. Both of us.
It was like a dream. I thought I was crying.
I don't wonder. We made time, all right. But look here. Where's the car? We're not out of the woods yet.
I'll say we're not.
Well, the car's this way. Right down the road. Come on, hurry.
All right. Come on, you two. Here, let me give you a hand, Miss Lane. Or Jimmy and I'll make a chair,
You bet, Mr. Kent.
That's the boy. Here we go. Now, there.
Okay, Chip. What are you going to do now?
I'd still like to know how they got out of that fire.
Well, don't ask me how, but they got out.
Well, it ain't going to help 'em much. Take it from me.
Well, Chip, what do you mean?
I got one big surprise. Let's fight. Look behind you. See anything in the back seat?
So dark. Oh, wait. Yeah, it looks like a box. Not very big.
No, it's not very big. But, oh, boy, when that little box does its stuff, that guy Kent and all the rest of them will wish they'd passed out in the fire.
What are you going to do?
You'll see. First thing, we got to get out on the main road a couple of miles ahead of them. Give her the gun. Fast. What new threat is Donelli making against the safety of the little group from the Daily Planet? Are they out of the burning woods only to face new and undreamed of dangers? And what strange and incredible climax waits for Clark Kent and his friends on the road from Little Falls? Tune in and don't miss the exciting climax of the next installment of Superman. And remember, be sure to tune in the next thrilling installment of the amazing transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
And now, Superman. Faster than an airplane, stronger than a locomotive, able to bend steel bars in his bare hands and leap tall buildings at a single bound. Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who has appeared on Earth from far out in solar space, and who goes about among men as mild Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. When we last saw him, Superman, in his character of Clark Kent, had just rescued Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Editor White from the blazing pine forest near Little Falls, in which Gyp Donelli, head of a gang of petty racketeers, had done his best to trap them. Donelli himself had fled down the main road, but only to arrange another and even more deadly ambush. As our story continues today, we find him and his henchman Spike in their black sedan, slowing down along the road and searching for a likely place for what Donelli has in mind. Listen.
What are you looking for, Gyp?
A place I remember right along here somewhere. Or a little brook kind of runs under the road. You know what I mean?
Oh, a culvert? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's it, a culvert.
And when you find it, then what?
Okay, this looks like it. Yeah, here we are. Pull up.
Okay. Well, now what?
Listen, Spike. That bunch back in the woods. Kent and his pals. What do you think they're going to do next?
Oh, them? Oh, how should I know, boss? Get back to town, maybe.
Yeah, get back to town. And they still got the briefcase that dame took out of the cabin. You know what's in that briefcase, Spike?
Well, yeah, sure I do.
Record to the tape. How much we got out of the racket and who we got it from. Yeah, and who went after it, too. See?
What do you mean?
I mean we're all in this dope. You and me and everybody else. If them newspaper guys get back to town with what's in that briefcase, well, they better not, that's all.
Well, listen, boss, that ain't all they can get us for. What about the dame?
Yeah, I know. We got to pick up the whole bunch of them. All at one crack. And that's just what we're going to do, Spike. Hey, give me a hand here.
Okay.
Careful with that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
No, you didn't tell me. What is it?
Just a little box, Spike. I'm going to plant a little box under this culvert, see? And lead a fuse off in the field behind that fence.
Gosh, boss.
Then when that bunch of wise guys comes along in their car...
Listen, how do you know they'll be in the car?
They came in one, didn't they? I quit asking silly questions.
Hey, look, boss. How are you going to set the fuse for the exact second that they're over the culvert? How are you going to do that?
I don't need to. If they're any place within 100 feet of where this goes off, they'll be plenty close.
Honest?
It's something new. Bugsy Leary gave me it to try out when I needed to. Half as big and 20 times as strong as TNT and scatters fire all over the place. Help me lug it down there.
Hey, listen, boss. Where are you and me going to be when this goes off?
Easy does it. There. I'm going to be out in that field so that I can duck in and grab the briefcase when it comes down. And before it burns.
Well, what about me?
You're going to take this car and go back where we just come from.
Hey, listen,
Shut up and do what you're told. Go back again in them woods. Hide the car and see what's doing. Get it?
Okay.
If they do what I think they'll do, follow them back here about a half a mile behind. But if they don't, come back quick and tell me, see?
I got it.
Oh, yeah. One thing more. Some of them might come this way, and some might head for the nearest cop house. If they separate, keep your eye on Kent.
Chip, listen. What if he's alone?
If he's alone? Well, if he's alone, do whatever you feel like.
I get you.
Only make sure it looks like an accident afterward. Now get going.
You'll be all right?
Sure, I can handle the rest of this myself. Get back in the car and head up the road again.
Okay. Good luck, boss.
They're the ones that need the luck, not us.
And meanwhile, back in the edge of the woods, safe from the fire, Kent, Lois, Jimmy, and Editor White wait anxiously for some sign of assistance.
Now, let's wait just a few minutes more. If nothing happens by then, you can go back to the car, and I'll go scouting around for the police.
Gee, Mr. Kent, don't you think we ought to stick together?
Oh, we'll be all right now, Jimmy. Those crooks are miles away. If they hadn't been picked up. What are you doing with the briefcase, Mr. White?
Just giving it a quick going over, Kent.
Gee, it's too dark to see much.
I can tell you what's in it, Mr. White. All we need to get convictions on Donelli and his whole gang.
Honestly?
No fool. I'm sure of it. After I turned my ankle, all I could do was sit there. So I went through those papers just in case.
In case what, Miss Lane?
Well, in case Donelli's men found me again, and I just had to depend on my memory.
Say, Miss Lane, you're all right. That must have taken a lot of nerve.
Boy, I'll say, knowing they might be along any minute.
Oh, say, look here. I think we ought to be getting on.
Great Scott, that's right, Mr. White. We shouldn't wait around here anymore.
The car isn't very far, Lois. Now, if we all gave you a hand, do you think you could make it? I'm really anxious to get started with these papers.
Me too, Mr. White.
You lean on me, Miss Lane.
Oh, I'll be all right, honestly.
You're sure?
Positive, Mr. Kent. Jimmy's as good as a crutch, really.
Funny as a crutch is what you mean.
Now, come on. This way. I'll pick out the path.
Don't forget the briefcase, Mr. White.
A few hundred yards down the winding trail, with Lois bravely saying nothing of her injured ankle. And presently the dim shape of the car looms out of the trees. Kent helps them in and insists on staying behind.
Look here, Kent. What's the idea?
Mr. Kent, aren't you coming along?
No, I'm staying right here, just in case the police come in from the other direction. I want to be here to talk to them.
But, Mr. Kent...
Oh, I'll be all right, honest. Look, you get going. I'll join you later.
Well, if you're sure that's the thing to do, Kent.
Let me stay, too.
You'll stay right in the car, young man.
Oh, you want to get back to town as quick as you can, Mr. White. I'll close up any loose ends up here.
All right, Kent. Good luck.
Goodbye. Take it easy.
Goodbye. Good luck.
Yes, one or two loose ends is just exactly right. And I think Superman can do it better by himself than with 3 other people around. Now then, first of all, I want to know who that was sneaking around in the woods a while ago. Nobody else heard him, but I did. Right by my ear. Those last 2 were bullseyes. Lucky for me, they bounced. There's something else that'll bounce, too. That sharpshooter back there in the woods. No good running, my friend.
I didn't do it. I didn't mean nothing. Oh, he's flying through the air. Oh!
Just a little target shooting, eh? Good, clean fun. Well, now I'll have some fun. Come here.
Let me go. Quit it. Oh.
Well, if it isn't my old friend Spike. Where's Donelli?
I don't know. Honest, I don't.
None of that now. Remember what happened to you last time?
No.
Where's Donelli?
I don't know.
All right, then you'll take a ride up in the air. Up.
Hey, put me down. What are you doing? He's taking me up in the air. He ain't human.
200 feet up already, Spike. And a long way down. Where's Donelli? Quick, or I'll drop you.
No. He's back down the road. He's by the culvert.
Culvert? What culvert? What's he doing there?
He's waiting for the car. Oh, look out.
You're all right. As long as you keep talking. Quick, what's Donelli doing?
I said he's waiting for the car.
Whose car? White?
Yeah, look out. Oh.
Almost let you go. What's he going to do? Quick.
I don't know, honest, I don't.
All right, if that's how you feel about it. So long, Spike.
Oh, look out. Look out.
Yeah, how'd you like that?
Oh, please, no.
You're all right. I caught you, but I may not catch you the next time. Depends on how I feel. Now, what's Donelli going to do? Last chance, Spike. Here you go.
No, I'll talk. He's got a new kind of a bomb. He's going to blow up the car when it goes over the culvert.
Something new in bombs, eh? And that culvert's only about a mile away. They're almost there. Sorry, Spike, you're due for another ride.
No, I told you.
Sorry, no time to put you down, but you won't get hurt, not this time. But if you ever say a word about what's happened tonight...
I won't.
Remember that, Spike. And now hang on. We're going to make time. We've got to catch that car. When we do catch them, you're going to warn them while I catch Donelli, understand?
Yeah, whatever you say, only don't drop me.
Don't wiggle, Spike. Up we go. Faster.
Still feel all right, Lois?
Fine, thanks, Mr. White. Are you heading right back to town?
If you don't want to see a doctor.
Oh, no. We want to get back to work.
Good girl. That's what I think myself.
Hey, look. There's a man on the road way down ahead.
No, there isn't.
I saw him.
I saw him, too, Mr. White, down by the little bridge.
He ducked down and ran. He sure got swell lights, Mr. White.
Well, he's gone now. And here's where I let her out a bit.
Mr. White, what's the matter?
Gee, you sure put on the brakes.
No, but I didn't. We just stopped. As though somebody grabbed the car from behind.
Look, there's another man right in front of the headlights.
Get back. Get in reverse, quick.
What's he saying?
Quick. Hey, dynamite. There's dynamite in the road. Back up, quick. Get away from the culvert, quick.
Dynamite.
Quick.
Hang on, everybody.
Quick, look out.
We didn't miss that one by much.
That man. He saved our lives. But where's he gone? I'd like to know what in the world kept us from going onto that culvert.
Hey, Mr. White, is that you?
Kent. Great Scott.
Mr. Kent.
How'd he get here? We left him back in the woods. Are you all right? Anybody hurt? Gosh, for a minute I thought surely...
Kent, what's going on here? Who's that you've got there?
Gyp Donelli, Mr. White. The big boss himself. I found him lying in the field. He was stunned.
Gyp Donelli?
Yes.
But the other man, the one that waved us back.
Oh, that was Spike. You remember Spike, Jimmy?
Gee, I thought I knew that guy, but...
Now he just turned over a new leaf. We found him just after you left. And he told us all about it, so we brought him along by a shortcut. Got here just ahead of you. And he'll back up every word I say.
Won't you, Spike? Won't you?
Yeah, sure.
Say, look. Here come the state troopers. And we've got Spike and Gyp Donelli.
And we still got the briefcase, too. Don't forget that.
Right, Jimmy. Thanks to you and Miss Lane, the Donelli gang is smashed for keeps.
Well, Clark Kent certainly will have a lot to explain this time. Editor White is asking himself questions almost out loud. How long can Superman keep his secret quiet? Time alone can tell. But meanwhile, there's a brand new assignment coming right up as Kent is set out to follow a weird and exciting story. Tune in next time and don't miss it. And remember, be sure to tune in the next thrilling installment of the amazing transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.